Okay, here we are. We're upstairs. Before we went down for the cocktail, Rail said she saw a recipe for a Brussels sprout, a gratin. So I just bought a bag of Brussels sprouts. So we're gonna do that. I've got this oil ready because you know all this stuff is mundane. There's about a pound of Brussels sprouts. I got a little bit of olive oil, and I've cut them in half. I'm going to reuse this cookie sheet that I used earlier on because I made some of that delicious vegetable stock. So these are going to go in the oven on the top shelf, 425, about 20 minutes until they get tender, right? Then you kind of make like a white sauce is what you're doing here with some for someone to cook up these onions. I have a little oil in there already. You can hear that sizzle. Yeah. Right. I'm going to let this cook a little bit. Then I'm going to add the flour. Then I'm going to add the milk. We're going to have our little bit of sauce, a little bit of salt and pepper. And then these Brussels sprouts will be done. I'm going to put them in here. We're going to pour that sauce over. But we'll be back. This is one of those deals where we get to go pause now. Are you ready? Whoa! Okay, so, I don't know. I got the onions that got a little bit more color on them than I wanted because Rael and I were involved in some social intercourse. But those are about ready. There's a little bit of oil in there. And there's our flour. I'm just going to let that flour get all over those onions. There we go. That's nice. And then there's milk. I got a cup of milk here. That should be good. And then we are also, I'll let that go for a second on its own. I'm going to roast up. I have a turnip. I have 2 parsnips and some carrots. We're going to roast those up, as well as the salmon and the Brussels sprout gratin, and maybe we'll do one more thing. I don't know. We haven't. I got sidetracked on this. It's one of those things that takes a little bit more time. Okay, we're ready. Well, let's go. Here we go. Okay, here. All right, here we go. So, there's those vegetables that we roasted up and that we're gonna roast up. And Rael I'm sorry, that lady that helps me just wanted to make sure you know that we're cooking some of these up for tomorrow as well. The mystery lady uses some of these in her breakfast and whatnot, in her eggs. So we also remember that we had some of this roasted garlic we did a couple of weeks ago. So we chopped some of that up. And we put that in the white sauce for the Brussels. I mean, why not, right? Boom. There are those Brussels sprouts. We are going to put these in the oven. I'm going to give 5 minutes up on the top shelf. I'm going to move this down. And I'm going to stir that roasted garlic into the white sauce. I'm going to let these cool down a bit. I'm still kind of going to use the bowl because then we're going to make the gratin, the little crispy bits that are going to go on the top of this. The breadcrumbs we have are panko, and they're in there. And we're going to mix a little olive oil in there and maybe a little Parmesan cheese that I'm going to grate up with the micro grater there. Oh my God! I don't want you to see our compost container of shame of peels. I know we could have used those for something. Feed the worms. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I pulled the bones out of the salmon. I have those vegetables roasting. The white sauce was really, really thick. I guess I was a little shy on the number of Brussels. We got the roasted garlic in there. I have our panko here. And I'm going to put a little of this cheese in there with this grater. Rael's sister loves.
What kind of cheese?
I'm not really sure. This was kind of a hard cheese that we got from Pippa. We've used this a couple of videos ago before we got on to YouTube. But yeah, just a little bit because I actually And you put a little bit of oil in there. And this is kind of just like a little topping that's going to go on those Brussels sprouts. This is kind of more of a Thanksgiving type of a thing. But since there will be no Thanksgiving this year, I guess we'll highlight a Thanksgiving side dish from here until that magical Thursday. So there we go. That's ready. Those vegetables will still roast in. Salmon's ready to go. Oh, let's get on the timer. Let's just see. I'm going to give them 10 more minutes. And then we'll be back. What was I supposed to do? Something else? You were looking. I'm not really sure. I'll get yelled at when I'm off. Let's go. Thank you. We'll be back. Okay, here we go. Salmon is sizzling. There are our Brussels sprouts and our roasted root vegetables. Very fabulous. Dexter heard the food. Boom, la, da, da, da. Oh! All right, boom. There we go. That's dinner for tonight. We have some roasted parsnip, turnip, carrot, a little salmon, and some Brussels sprout gratin, which I've showed you how to make if you paid attention. Better, you scamps. We'll be back. I don't know. Thank you from the Wicker Bar. This is the cooking portion. We'll get to that collectibles portion. Maybe we'll see what happens.